Welcome back to American Celebrity Legacy. Today we honor the extraordinary lives of Hollywood icons whose spirits remained resilient until the very end. From the relentless drive of Eric Dane against ALS, the quiet struggles of Robert Carradine, to the legendary toughness of Joe Don Baker and Sylvester Stallone, these stars were far more than just faces on a screen. They transformed their private battles with chronic illness, physical pain, and loss into profound human legacies. As we remember those who passed away and those who died today, we reflect on their grit and the final chapters they wrote with courage. Now let's get started. Eric Dane passed away on February 19, 2026, at the age of 53, following complications from ALS that led to respiratory failure. For many, he was Mark Sloan in Grey's Anatomy, but his strongest connection to action came later. In The Last Ship, he led as Captain Tom Chandler, carrying the weight of survival in a world collapsing from a global pandemic. It was a role built on command, pressure, and responsibility. He also stepped into darker territory in Euphoria and played a hardened antagonist in Bad Boys, Ride or Die, showing a more dangerous edge. Even after his diagnosis in 2025, Dane chose to keep working. As his speech slowed and his body weakened, he remained present on set, adapting to each limitation. ALS gradually took his strength, his voice, and his independence. Today, as fans look back through the heart-wrenching lists of celebrities who died today and in recent months, his story remains a powerful testament to grit. Eric Dane was not just remembered for the roles he played, but for the way he faced the end, steady, aware, and still showing up when it mattered most. Joe Don Baker passed away on May 7, 2025, at the age of 89, as confirmed by his family. Built like a linebacker and carrying the presence of a true Texas tough guy, he became one of the defining faces of 1970s action cinema. His breakthrough came with Walking Tall, a low-budget film that grossed over $40 million and turned him into an unlikely star. As Sheriff Buford Pusser, he fought crime with a wooden club, creating one of the most iconic vigilante figures of the era. Baker moved easily between roles. He played a cold-blooded hitman in Charlie Varick, a Bond villain in The Living Daylights, and later returned as a CIO ally in GoldenEye and Tomorrow Never Dies. As the years passed, leading roles became fewer, and he shifted into supporting characters, often playing men caught between law and violence. His career remains a vital chapter in the USA Legend archive, preserving the image of a man from a time when action felt direct, physical, and real. Breaking news: Sylvester Stallone was never the polished kind of action hero who moved through danger untouched, and that is exactly why audiences remembered him. He became the face of wounded endurance, a man whose screen warriors bled, staggered, and kept moving when pride, youth, and even the body itself began to fail. Long before Hollywood turned him into Rocky Balboa and John Rambo, life had already marked him with pain, rejection, and a loneliness that fame could never fully erase. The legend came later. The wound came first. At birth, a mishandled delivery damaged facial nerves, leaving part of his face partly paralyzed and his speech permanently altered. Childhood did not soften what destiny had begun. He grew up in emotional instability, between parents who could not give him lasting safety, and through school years filled with ridicule, exclusion, and repeated rejection. 13 schools taught him the same brutal lesson, that he did not belong. That early shame would later become the hidden fuel inside every action role he made believable. His road into action cinema was not built through martial arts championships or a bodybuilder crown, but through refusal. Casting rooms dismissed him for the very face and voice that would someday make him unforgettable. So he wrote Rocky from hunger, pride, and desperation, insisting that if the film were made, he had to play the fighter himself. When Rocky exploded in 1976, it did more than create a star. It established Stallone as the patron saint of bruised perseverance. Then came the golden age that fixed his image in popular memory. Rocky made him the emblem of the underdog who could absorb punishment without surrender, while Rambo transformed him into a haunted warrior carrying battle long after the fight should have ended. What separated Stallone from many other action stars was his style. He was not built on elegance, speed, or effortless cool. His action felt heavy, physical, and costly, with every punch, every breath, and every step suggesting strain. He did not glide through violence, he endured it. That authenticity demanded a terrible price. For Rocky films, he drove his body into extremes. And during Rocky IV, a punishing blow from Dolph Lundgren sent him to intensive care for 9 days, an ordeal Stallone later described as a moment when he thought he was finished. Years of impact followed, with chronic pain, nerve damage, spinal trouble, repeated surgeries, and the slow humiliation of learning that an action icon can look mighty on screen while quietly falling apart off it. The stronger he appeared, the more his body was paying. The 1990s proved that even giants can be pushed aside when the culture changes, and his career entered a painful decline. Yet age eventually gave Stallone something more moving than dominance. In Rocky Balboa and Creed, he no longer played a man trying to conquer the world, but one trying to live honestly inside its losses. Now he moves with the weight of old injuries and the silence left by the death of his son Sage. Yet his legacy remains larger than muscle or myth. He taught action cinema that toughness is not the absence of pain. It is the decision to rise while carrying it. Robert Carradine passed away on February 23, 2026, at 71. Born into a legendary acting family, he never chased attention, but built a career that quietly stayed with audiences. On screen, he often played men who didn't look like heroes at first glance. In Revenge of the Nerds, 1984, he made Louis Skolnick more than a joke. He made him human, someone who wins not by strength, but by refusing to back down. That same quiet energy carried into his other work, from war stories like The Big Red One to the steady, reassuring father in Lizzie McGuire. As fans and colleagues share their tribute to Hollywood stars who brought authenticity to every role, Carradine is remembered for his unique ability to connect through vulnerability. Away from acting, he found balance in race car driving, where results were clear and control was real. He lived for nearly 2 decades with bipolar disorder. Robert Carradine leaves behind something simple but lasting: the idea that even the quietest presence can be deeply felt.